Myself, Dr. Twinkle Shah from Ahmedabad. Our instruction course is basically meant for the different IO power calculations in different situations, which is the day-to-day we are coming across. The goal of surgery, which we have, was the good visual outcome in the previously. Now, the equal goal is good reflective outcome nowadays. Center to that, the accurate calculation of the correct IOL power. And the next comes a variety of formulas which provides us the accuracy, how we can provide the E-metropy or whatever our desired reflection which we have planned. There are so many possible sources of error in the calculations, like a systemic errors, which is like a weakness in the formula. Suppose you are still using SRK1 formula, it is basically weakness in the formula, and then the uses of formula. That means suppose you have a short eye and you are using the SRKT formula. These are the ways where we are getting so many systematic errors. And the weakness in the measurement technique, like still we are continuing with the contact biometry, there are more chances to have some kind of a error in the IOL power calculations. Some randomized error, which is not in surgeon's hand, like certain situations like a post-traumatic eyes or some kind of corneas which are very irregular corneas, or patient who have a large posterior staphyloma where the very difficult to measure the axal line, or when the post-operative cases. Now on the subsequent course, we are dealing each and every situations, how to tackle these situations and how to decrease this randomized error. Factors which are needed to calculate the IOL power, the biometry, keratometry, and effective lens position. My subsequent co-instructors will take care of these things, how to do a proper biometry, how to do a proper keratometry, and how to go for the effective lens position, and how to customize your A constant and which formula has to be used in which situations. How this formula evolved and how it does, I am giving you a brief. Why we need different formulas and how this formula has been evolved. The early formulas, which were the first generation formula, where the anti-chamber depth was a constant value was been considered. Because the early lenses were the iris supported lenses. So the produces very small variation in the posterior anti-chamber depth. So at that time there was not an issue. But when the posterior chamber IOLs has been started, the problems arises because the anti-chamber depth was varies with the axial length of the eye. So the newer generation formula at that time was the regression formulas they evolved. The SRK1 formulas. These formulas where they eliminated the SCDF variations by replacing it with the A constant. The A constant was manufactured or given by the manufacturer on the basis of material, optic design, and refractiveness of the IOL material. And then the initially SRK1 formulas were started in the late 80s and early 90s. The problem with SRK1 formula, this formula assumes a 2.5 diopter refractive change for each 1 millimeter axial length regardless of the axial length of the globe. So they have tendency to underestimate the longer eyes and overestimate the shorter eyes. So over the period of time, these regression formulas were vanished out. And they have been changed with the second generation regression formulas, because these formulas shows that there is a non-linear regression relationship between the axial length and the IOL power. Suppose you have a long eyes, the IOL power differs as a SRK1. If it is short eyes, it also differs. So the Binkers 2, Holade, Donjis all have addressed the same problem, and they change in a different A constant with a different axial length. Suppose your axial length is short, then you have to add certain amount of the fraction of the amount in the short eyes, or you have to deduct certain amount in the A constant in the long eyes. So there were 6 subtypes of the A constant in a different long and short eyes in the SRK2 formulas, all the second generation formulas. Over the period of time, even the some special situations, there was some problem across with the IOL power calculations. So the third generation formula, which is a merger of this linear regression method and also the theoretical eye models. Theoretical eye models means that all the previous formulas were the thick based formulas. Now theoretical eye model formulas, they are the thin based formulas. So the Holade 1, SRKT and O4Q, they all have a different theoretical assumptions and they produce the different formulas, that is the third generation formula. The next evolution of the fourth generation formulas, like along with the theoretical formula which use They use the other biometric data, like Higgs-L formula, which uses the ACDF variation, A constant. OLADA2 formula uses the white to white, lens thickness, reflection of the eye, status of the eye, and age of the patient. Nowadays, the Olsen formula, which uses the nu C constant, and that describes the IOL position as a constant fraction of the lens thickness. So, in current practice, what we are doing, this is a very important slide. The normal range of the axial length, 22 to 24.5, all third generation formula works well. It means whether you are doing OLADA 1, whether you are doing with upper Q, or whether you are doing with the SRK-T, all works very well in the normal range. But it is a short eye, less than 22, the upper Q performs the best. If long eyes, 24.5 to 26, the OLADA 1 works well, and very long eyes, more than 26, SRK-T works very well. The fourth generation formula has OLADA 2, which is an online payable one. It works best for the all eyes. Now, along with it's available with the IOL Master and the Lenstar. So, the fourth generation, the Higgs-L is best for the post-refractive eyes. We are dealing with this detail in subsequent part of the instruction course. So, not to hurry, to note down. We are going for detail for this. This is this brief introductory lecture, and this is the chart we have to follow. And just take the photograph of this slide. This is a very important slide. And this you have to implement in your practice. Upcoming formulas, which are based on the ray tracing technology like Olsen formula, where the C constant is issued to customize the individual eye, irrespective of corneal power and axial length, and Higgs-L HL formula for the post-hyperopic and the presbyopia patients. So, in conclusion, as a brief introductory lecture, use most standard way of the measuring the corneal power and axial biometry for the perfect IOL power calculation. My next lecture by Dr. Nishan will take over this part. Use of third generation and fourth generation formulas in current practice, which will be taken by Dr. Asrani for the detailing. Use the appropriate formulas according to your axial length. Post-refractive eyes, post-keratoplasty eyes, post-vitrectomized eyes, very short eyes, very long eyes. These all will be taken care by Dr. Tejas. And the pediatric patient, how to calculate how the lenses has been used, will be taken by Dr. Sajani. So we proceed our first lecture with Dr. Nishan Patel for the proper corneal power and axial biometry. Dr. Nishan, please.